Guys, I've changed my apron in my sourdough era. One of my daughters gave me this because I love all things sourdough. Today we are making bread. If you will look back at some of the videos, last year about this time I did my first sourdough video, and that was where I made an artisan bread. For this class, we're going to make a Wonder Bread copycat, or a soft sandwich loaf. So we start off making that by making a stiff, sweet starter. All right. So the starter has to grow in order to make our bread grow, so that's why they call it a starter. So I have in this jar some regular sourdough starter. All right. Now I'm going to measure it out here, and I'm going to measure out 15 grams of this into my jar. All right. Now I've got a jar here with a big open top so that I can stir it. All right, so let's see, 15, there's 10, 13, 40, uh-oh, too many, that's 19. Don't need very much. All right, there's 15 exactly. All right, I got 15 grams of sourdough starter. All right, that's what's in here. This we've already measured. Here is 15 grams of honey. Let me see if I can get it out of there. 15 grams of honey. Of course, we buy our honey locally. You probably do too. It's good for you. So that's the sweetener. No refined sugars in this recipe. Then we have, I think it's 30 grams of water. You can consult the recipe. And I think probably 60 grams of bread flour. This is organic. Already been measured out, so I'm not going to measure it on my little scale here. Okay, this is going to be our starter. All right, so here we are. I am going to take my, kind of like a cross between a spurtle and a spatula here, and I'll mix this up. Now, this is called a stiff sweet starter. Sweet because it has honey in it, and most starters are just made with water and flour. This one has honey in it, so that's why it's called sweet. And this is why it's called stiff. All right, I'm going to have to use my hands in order to make sure that that sourdough starter gets all in, mixed in with the water and the honey and the flour. So I'm kneading it. Isn't that weird? Look how thick that is. I'm kneading my stiff sweet starter. So here we go. I've kneaded it. That's good enough. Okay, I'm going to set it here, back in my little thing. Okay, now I'm going to let that sit. If I start in the morning, I'm going to let it sit to that night, 8 to 12 hours. If I make this at night, I'm going to let it sit to the next morning. Now, it just so happens that I have one I made last night. Now, here's the difference in these two starters. Let me take the plastic wrap off. Okay. This one I made last night, and this one I just made. Now you see how it rose? All right, I'm going to set this to the side, and I'll be back for part 2, and we'll mix up our dough. So we've got our stiff sweet starter, and it has matured. Now I did it last night, so this is the morning. I've got to make my tangjong. Now that is a Japanese word, and this is a flour paste. I've already got it measured out, and what this is flour and milk. Okay, now I'm whisking it together, and I'm going to go over here to the microwave. Now you could do this on the stove. However, let me set this and I'll tell you. All right, you could do this on the stove, but it's easier in the microwave. And it usually is going to take 3 to 5 rounds of 30 minutes each. When you first take it out, it's going to look like it's not done. It's going to look like, and it isn't done. But you've got to keep going until it gets to be 150 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's take it out and see what it looks like. Okay, that looks like nothing. Okay, we're going to stir it up, put it back in there for another 30 seconds. All It's probably going to take, in mine, sometimes it takes me 3 rounds. Sometimes it takes me 3 rounds of 30 and then another 15. But what I'll do is I'll test it with my little thermometer. It's got to come to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, what you may say is the purpose of this tangjong. Tangjong is supposed to keep the bread from staling as quickly. All right, here we go. That was round number 2. And you can see it's thicker, but it's not a paste yet. So I'm gonna put it back in there. 30 more seconds. Now this is not a microwave that I normally use. This is, of course, I'm not at home, I'm at the nutrition center, but by the feel of that, after only 2, I think it's only gonna take 3 before that tangjong will be ready. Now all that is milk and flour. That's it. And we're gonna add that to, it's so weird because you're like, this is like jelly or whatever. But anyway, we're gonna add that to our dough here in just a minute. All right, let's check it. Here we go. All right, now look. Look at there. Let's see if it's 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me look. Yep, it's more than that, so that's fine. All right, let's come back over here, guys. All right, here's my tangjong. Now, the only thing about this is this really needs to be cool. So I'm going to set this, so generally what I do is I make the tangjong when I make the stiff sweet starter the night before and put it in the fridge, which is what I did. And here is the tangjong that I made last night. And we're ready to mix up our dough. All right, it's not a problem. Now, many of you probably have KitchenAid mixers, and I have one as well. However, I bought this Bosch mixer because it really mixes up bread much better than the KitchenAid. The KitchenAid tells you, I'm sorry, I'm fixing to add this. The KitchenAid tells you not to go over number 2, and it takes a long time. This one is much quicker, is much more powerful. So I'm adding my tangjong that has cooled. If I put it in there hot, then it's going to make my bread too hot and it's not going to do right. So there's that. So I add all the tangjong. I have my stiff sweet starter. I've got to put all this in there because I've already measured it out. So I'll have to measure that again. Look at that. Look how thick that is. That, my friends, is our yeast. It's amazing. Yeah, that thick, big ball of stuff is going to make that. Okay, now to that, all right. So in here we have our tangjong and we have our stiff sweet starter. Let's add the rest of our ingredients. 12 grams of salt. Use sea salt or Himalayan pink salt or some natural salt. We have avocado oil. Now, that's what the recipe calls for. That's not inflammatory. But you could use olive oil or some other kind of oil. Honey. Now, we talked about that earlier. Not refined sugar, but honey. This is, of course, local honey from here near Boonville, Mississippi. And then we have our bread flour. Now this, I'll do a recipe another time that has whole wheat flour in it. This, however, has high protein bread flour and then water. And that is our dough. All right, I'm going to put this on it for just a minute so flour doesn't go flying everywhere. And we're going to go for 1 to 2 minutes on speed 1. Okay, what we're doing now is just mixing up our dough, mixing all the ingredients together. So we're going to go 1 to 2 minutes on, on mine is speed 1. I have 4 speeds on this Bosch, so we're going to go speed 1 for 1 to 2 minutes. After that, I'm going to turn it up to speed 2, and we're going to knead it for 10 minutes. So I'll be back in 12 minutes to see you guys. All right, guys, let us finish up our sourdough bread. This is our dough. Look at it, guys. Beautiful dough. All right, let me get it out of this mixer. Let me set this mixer to the side and get it out of the way. All right, now remember, what do we have in here? We've got our tangjong, which is, remember that flour and water paste that I mixed up. We have our sweet stiff starter. Remember that? That was our honey and our flour water that we mixed up. We put that in here along with some honey. We also put water, flour, and salt in here, and a little bit of avocado oil. Y'all, this is a beautiful dough. I'm just going to have to tell y'all. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so this is a pottery. Of course, you're supposed to use all natural, and so it's supposed to be good for you. So I've got it sprayed. I've got some oil in it, so I'm tossing it around so it'll be oiled on the top, and I'm turning it over. There it is. All right. Now, you can put plastic wrap on it or whatever. I like to put a wet towel over it. Okay. Now, if you make this in the morning, you've got to let it sit till night. If you made it at night, you got to let it sit till the morning. So we're going to let this sit. Okay, this is what it looks like. Okay. I have some already made, of course. So, and voila. I made this last night, and this has sat all night long, and it is ready now. It has proof. It's what we call proofing. So it is ready now to be put. Look at the bubbles. See, look. Look, can you see? Wow. All right. So it is now ready to be put into our loaf pan. Now let's talk about this. This is my loaf pan. Now you can scale the recipe. I better get some flour. You can scale the recipe to be made in a regular size loaf pan or 2 regular size loaf pans or whatever. But my mom had this loaf pan, and I thought, why not? I've got a daughter who has 6 children, and I've got 4 kids myself, 14 grandchildren, and so we need a lot of bread at our house. So a 13-inch loaf sounds pretty good to us. So we're going to roll it out and get all the air bubbles out of it. And then we're going to put it in our pan. All right, I'm a little bit wider. Let's see. Let's see how wide our pan is. Let's see. Let's go a little bit wider. And we're going to roll it up and put it in our pan to proof. All right, so here we go. Now do it as tightly as you can, starting on your end, and then roll down to the other end. All right. Let's see how it's getting wider as I go along. That's good. That's cool. That's going to be good. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dough. Now, I didn't make this recipe up, so I can't take credit for it. But I just followed the instructions just like anybody. All right. Here we go. Beautiful. Oh, my goodness. All right, we're going with that theme to be on the bottom. We're going to pinch the sides. All right. Here we go. All right, everybody see it? Everybody sees it? All right, we are ready. Here we go. Beautiful. Y'all, that is beautiful bread. I'm just going to tell y'all. All right. Okay, now, if I made this in the morning, I'm going to let this sit until night. I'm going to cover it. So, I'm going to cover it with this towel. If I made it in the morning, I'll let it sit till night. This was my mother's too. If I made it at night, I'm going to let it sit till morning. I just happen to have one. I made last night. Now look, it went from that to that. Now remember, it has no yeast in it. It has no yeast like you buy in the store. It has sourdough, yeast from sourdough. That's what has made this rise. That is what it looked like last night. This is what it looks like today. So now I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it in the oven, and we're going to cook it at 350 degrees for 40 minutes. And the internal temperature is 200, okay? I'm going to put it in a 350 oven, 40 minutes, 40 to 45. I'll check it after 40 to see if it's at 200 degrees, okay? See you back then. It has been 40 minutes. So let's check our bread. And let's see if it's at 200 degrees. If it is, we're ready. Here we go. Oh my goodness, guys, what a beautiful loaf. Look at that. All right, let's check. 200 degrees, 205 actually, but we're good. All right, let's take that baby out. Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, now this is optional, but I've got a tablespoon of butter here, and look at the difference in the sheen on that, when you put the butter on it, it's going to make the top soft. Perfect. Soft on top. All right, now we're going to let it sit. I don't want to waste any of that butter. Let's see. Let's get it all on there. We're going to let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes in the pan, and then we'll turn it out. I hope you enjoy this wonderful, healthy sourdough sandwich bread.